I'd like to welcome everybody to our show today. This is Journey Beyond the Horizon. We have another episode. We found out of our guest speakers. We have the same first name with me, Ray.
That's
Raymond
right.
Vejquita Keller. Welcome to our show. He is a business owner and also an independent island is his business. With the life insurance broker, and also we're glad to have you on our show, Brother Keller. Ray has been a great friend of mine when I used to live in Provo. So he's from Provo, Utah,
Yep.
and it's great to have him on our show. But before we start, just want to welcome everybody. Be a part of your show. Hey, make sure you have take notes. There's a lot of great stuff we're going to talk about with Ray today about life insurance. Gold coins, and then also stocks and then just the economy. Varieties of great things that we're going to talk about. It's a backup plan financially, and also he has a lot of great information to be a part of. Ray, welcome to the show.
Thank
Tell us
you.
about yourself. Thanks for having you. It's great to have the first first name with me. Ray. It's a great name, great name. But tell
It
us
is
about
a good
yourself,
name.
Ray.
Yeah. No, Ray. So first off, thanks. Like we were talking offline, thanks for letting me be on the beginning of your show. It's exciting, man. So I wish you the best and a lot of good interviews, a lot of good content. But yeah, so a little bit about myself. I always start with my family a little bit. So my nationality is half Tongan and then half Scottish. So I'm a mix of either way. I'm wearing a dress, right? It's a kilt or it's a lava lava or tupenu or whatever. So both
Right on, right
cultures.
on.
Yeah. So that's my background as far as nationality. I'm a proud father of 5 kids and my wife Nikki. So even on my website, when people come to visit it, they'll see on independentislandlifeinsurance.com. This is my baby. I created this life insurance agency from scratch. No one helped me. No one paid for anything. This is my baby. But if you go to my page and you read about me on my About Me tab, you'll see that the thing I'm most proud of is that I am a child of God first. I am second, a husband and a father, and I am last, a life insurance broker. That's least that's the order of priority in my life. But yeah, so like you said, Ray, well, I guess I could talk a little bit about my business. Is this a good time or?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yes, sir. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's totally fine.
So yeah, so I'm really proud of this agency I started. I started it going on 5 years this month, April. So it's pretty unique. It's what I've created is something that I have not found no one is doing what I'm doing, what I've done, what I'm doing. I am what they call an independent broker. So what
Right
that
on.
means, I have access to every carrier that's out there. And there's two types of agents out there. There's a captive agent on one hand, and then on the other hand, there's the independent agent. And so the
Mm-hmm.
captive agent is just like it sounds. The English word for captive is basically like slave, is another word for it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're a captive agent, you are captive to an agency, and that means you can only sell their products, and they're always the most expensive. All the captive agencies are very, very expensive, and I learned this very early on when I became 40 years old. I was looking for life insurance for myself, and you know, I started doing research and I learned a lot of things, but I could never find an independent agent who had access to everything. Everyone I talked to was captive to one carrier only, and they only sold a few products. And so that's when I realized there's a real problem out there. There's a real need that people for access to all the options. Everyone wants options. When you go buy a car, you don't just want to look at red cars. You want to look at
Mm-hmm.
silver cars. You want to look at green cars, blue cars. You want all the options so that you can actually have a choice. And so I learned this early on when I was researching for myself when I hit 40 years old, that there's very few captive agents and they're very difficult to find. And so, yeah, so anyway, that's kind of the beginning of this, where I realized there's a problem and I decided I was going to become the solution. So I started my own agency, got my own license, and I bought my own policy. I was my first customer myself.
Oh
So I
wow,
found,
that's really nice.
yeah, so I found the
Mm.
least expensive option and I got myself the most coverage for the least amount of money. And then I just kept going from there. I just started sharing with family and friends. And I helped a lot of family and friends who had very expensive policies. cut their policies in half. That's a lot of money, $30,000-$40,000 sometimes. And so, so that's kind of the foundation of my business. That's how it all started. That's who I am. But
Yeah, right on, right on. Ray, I have inquiry about life insurance. Definitely
yeah,
you're sharing about the our viewers out there. They are let's say they're currently holding or they haven't obtained any policy or anything. What are any advices or any counsels to them? They can like this show as we shared earlier, and this is for everyone. They're looking to get and we have you like I mentioned, you have those opportunities. You access to all those 50 states and all different products and then different policies. So what's the first step that they can do, right? If they already hold like or have a policy, what's
yeah.
their next step? Or if they haven't have another policy, what are the options there for them?
Okay. Yeah, perfect. So those are the two types of persons that I can help. So the first one you mentioned, Ray, was the one who has an existing
Mhm.
policy.
That's
So
right.
what they need to do is, well, they have to send me some basic info so that I can. It takes me just a few minutes because I have a lot of tools to be able to shop the whole marketplace in
Right.
2 or 3 minutes. So I just
Mhm.
get their date of birth, their height, their weight, if they smoke or don't smoke. And then it's also very helpful if they're willing to share any medications they have. That's what the United States, the life insurance carriers, they look at that with a fine tooth comb, like a magnifying glass. They look at every medication and they can tell by what meds you're taking, what kind of medical problems you probably have. If it's diabetes or gout or high blood
Mhm.
pressure, whatever it
Right.
is, they can see it by your meds. And that's how that's one of the number one determining factors is what is your medication, what are the prescriptions that you are currently taking or have recently been taking from a doctor. So that basic info is the step you have to take, no matter if you have an existing policy or if you're a brand new client, has nothing, you're shopping for the first time. You got to get me that basic info, and then I just go out into the marketplace and I shop it out, and then I give you those quotes in an email or on Facebook Messenger, however it is you reached out to me, I send it back to you, and then you look at them together with your spouse and
All
ask me
right.
questions.
Oh, right on. Definitely. Life insurance is very important. It's crucial. That's our backup plan. And for like for me, migrating in the United States, and kind of hear about all these great things. Life insurance, health insurance, and those things, especially life insurance. We're talking about specifically. I recall you have a talk show where an interview before prior where you talk about term and also permanent policy. Like I said, I don't know really much but
Yeah,
definitely, any expounding on that, kind of share with our viewers, that give them options and give them opportunity to choose. I mean, you're here, man. Valuable information that we have from you. So
yeah.
differences and different kind of policies they can look into and the types.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so we'll touch on that. So there's a couple of what I call inside baseball. It's just some of the behind the curtain stuff that a lot of people don't know about when they're shopping that I like to share and educate people. So you mentioned it, Ray, the term and then the perm. Perm is short for
Yeah.
permanent. So
Yep.
term is just like it's a set amount of time, so it has a ticking clock. It expires at some point in the future. So let's say a
Mhm.
30-year, I can get you up to a 40-year term. I have access to a 40-year. Most agents will max out at about 30-year term. But so whatever the time frame it is, it can be literally 1 year all the way up to 40 years. So whatever it is you picked, um, if you pick a term for 40 years, it'll expire 40 years from the day that you set it up. So I'm 43. If I did 40 years from now, it'd be 83. And then that
Mhm.
would be the day that I don't have any more insurance. I have no more life insurance. It's over, it's ended, it's done. And then the permanent is just like it sounds. It doesn't expire, it doesn't have a time frame. It'll, as long as you pay for it every month for however many years that you're going to be here on the earth, then you'll have that permanent insurance in place. So that's the term and perm. Another couple of things that I'll mention too that people should know about is there's policies that they call fully underwritten, which all that means in
Mhm.
real basic English is that they have to do a medical exam. They have to get your blood and get an urine sample. and they look very closely at that with the magnifying glass, and they give you and depending on the results of the blood work and the urine and all of that, they make a determination on how much, when your likelihood to pass away is based on the statistical, because they have a massive sample. They're billion-dollar companies. They insure a lot of people of all ages. So they have a general idea of how long a person with high blood pressure is going to live, approximately. And so that's how they make their decisions. So that's fully underwritten. The second type is simplified, which means there's no medical exam. They just ask you medical questions in the application. And assuming that you're being honest with them, they make a decision based off of the questions that you answered, and then based off of the prescription history. They'll look at your medical history. So that's the simplified. And then the third one is guaranteed issue. These are for those people that maybe currently have cancer. They're in pretty bad shape as far as health-wise. Their life expectancy isn't very long by the statistics and by the doctor's opinion. So then the guaranteed issue, they don't have any medical questions and there's no medical exam. They just, as long as you're alive and you have a checking account, they'll take you, but those are the most expensive ones though. So you'll get very little coverage for a lot more money. So you pay a lot more for a lot less. So the name of the game with life insurance is you don't want to wait till you're unhealthy, because now you're, the odds are not in your favor anymore. You're going to have to get a policy that's very small, will maybe bury you and do a little bit extra. Or if you're a Tongan funeral, right, it could be quite, you're going to use it all up. You're not going to have anything extra in some cases. So that's the other inside baseball trick, is to get it early. And there's even another thing that I do, Ray. I'll explain it, and then if you tell me if you understand it, that'll help me know if everyone else will understand it. Is I like to do something called, no one else does this as well. It's I call it a space holder policy.
Oh, wow.
And so what I do recommend with most people is to do a simplified policy with no medical exam. You don't want them to know any more details than they need to. You want to give them as little as possible to make a negative decision against you. So when you do a simplified policy, that number 2 option that I mentioned with no medical exam, then that allows them to make a decision based on your most recent results, which could be, for some people I talked to, many years earlier that they saw a doctor, 5 years, 10 years ago. So they'll base their decision today on that 5-year, 10-year ago medical exam you did a decade ago. So that what that does is it allows you to get a policy when you were 10 years, or at least based on your results from 10 years younger. So your chances of getting a policy are much higher than if you submit yourself to a medical exam where they check it and they look at everything very detailed of how you are today. And if they find anything, any cancer or anything today, you've just shot yourself in the foot, because now you can't get any kind of policy except for a guaranteed issue. You got to jump all the way to the end of the line and get the most expensive with the least amount of money. So what I do, and what I recommend for most people that I work with, and again, I just educate them. They make their own decisions, but I teach them about this, that you might want to get something without a medical exam. Yes, it is a little more expensive right now than to do a medical exam and pass with flying colors. But what it does is it protects you. It allows you to have a policy that cannot be taken away later on down the road when we apply for that one where they do the blood work in the year. And if they find anything at that point, it won't matter, because you already have that space holder policy that's locked in. But if they do find that you're very healthy later on with the medical exam, then we can switch. We can cancel the one and go to the other one and drop the space holder policy and go to the cheaper one and get your family a lot more coverage and not roll the dice. Does that make sense?
Yes. Well, that's great information, and also valuable information. As we spoke earlier, and also talk about. My mind kind of take me towards the different policies and also the options that everybody can access to, and as you're sharing, education from you, educated them, our potential clients, from our viewers and also anybody out there that
Yeah.
looking forward to get policy. And I look at the peace of mind at the end of the day. Eventually, our lives are here for a short amount of time, but in the meantime, we are needed to be prepared, every day. We need to be prepared, weekly, monthly, and those things are taking care of ourselves. But in the meantime, uh, with the policies, there's a peace of mind, especially this is an instance of regarding our Polynesian or anybody, our viewers, that we have a cost to pay, at the funeral, or the cost of the the mortuary or anything. Kind of give us any recommendation on any idea what is the best preparation, let's say age range. We all know, everybody has their own life. This is not speaking of or scare our viewers away, but what's the best preparation and the best opportunity to start a life insurance away? Let's say, like you shared, kids. I had, my kids, my family, and I know there are different companies, but I don't want to share those companies because of like copyrights and anything else. But like they can come to you, and we'll share your phone number later. But what's your recommendation if they right now? What's the first ever step? To get ready. There are different things coming, but like let's say you're gonna go see the doctor, like you said, you're gonna see that there's different appointments. If there's different policies, have different like criterias, to follow and requirements. But as I say, as a family, as for myself, like, for example, like me, as a father, what's my first step right now? If I don't have any policies and I have, let's say, a job, and I'm looking, say, hey man, we're looking at this company or that company. What's the first thing I need to write down or need to like take note to get started right away regarding life insurance?
Yeah. So
Family
I mean,
wise, kids.
yeah. So I think it sounds kind of like obvious, but you want to get as
Hmm.
much coverage for the least amount of money. Everyone does. You want to get as
Yes.
much coverage for your family. So I don't represent any carriers that are not A rated or better. So they're A or A plus.
Hmm.
So I kind of do that job for you shopping as a father. You want to have a reputable company, someone that's been through a lot of economic turmoil. There's been a lot in the United States. I can't speak for outside the US, but in the US in 2008 we had the great recession. In 2000 we
Hmm.
had the dot-com bubble, where so there's a lot of economic turmoil, ups and downs in our market. And so you picking life insurance, you want to pick one that's A rated or better, that's been around for 150 years, that's been through all kinds of turbulent times, and still is afloat and still is able to pay out to these claims for these families. But yeah, I mean, you just want to get as much coverage as you can for the least amount of money with a reputable carrier. And so the only way to do that is to make sure that you, as a father, has access to everything. And the only way to do that is to work through an independent broker. Well, someone like myself, or if you can find someone else who's doing this
Hmm.
as well. But another thing I do that's also unique is that I all 50 states. This is something that most independent brokers, that are the very few that are out there, they don't do what I do. I'm licensed all 50 states. I
Hmm.
can't emphasize that enough. Like, you could be in Alaska,
Hmm.
you could be in Hawaii, you could be in Maine up at the North Tip, or you could be down in Southern California. I have all the tools in place way before coronavirus and COVID was part of everyone's, house, was part of every household. I've been doing this remotely over the phone, and I have all the tools to do it, and do it very well, very efficiently, very quickly, all over the phone or Zoom, something like this. So
Amazing.
yeah, and then one other thing I'll mention, Ray, if we have some time for this, just to
Yep. Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead.
it's I mentioned it too in that other podcast that you listened to that I did with Maveo. But the living benefits, most carriers do not offer this, but I have access to these again because I have access to everything. The living benefits, very simply, if someone almost passes away due to cancer, due to heart attack or stroke, due to diabetes, due to a lot of different things, if someone almost passes away, most policies do not allow you to take that death benefit while they're still alive. That's what a living benefit
Wow.
is if you almost die, but don't die, or almost pass away, but you're not able to work. This is what happens. You have your income is up here and your
Mhm.
medical expenses are down here because you're just doing the regular maintenance, dentist visits, regular annual checkup. The cost is very low for your doctor. But when you have an event that I'm talking about, like a heart attack or stroke, they switch. Your medical expenses now are way above, and your income comes down to sometimes nothing. So now, if any of your audience just Googles on the internet, number one reason for bankruptcy in America is medical expenses, 65% of them. It's a lot. So these families, these living benefits help you take care of this situation. Because if this happens to you and you have a stroke and you can't work and your medical expenses are up here, the living benefits will bring your income back up to what you need it to be able to pay for all this medical expense. So you don't have to
Mhm.
declare bankruptcy or go live with your in-laws. There's a lot of things that people end up having to do. So the living benefits is also something that people should know about and consider. And most of us that are listening to this, if they think about it, we all know someone who's had a heart attack or stroke, cancer, and we know they have GoFundMe pages, that they're trying to raise money to be able to pay for this because they can't themselves, and so they result to having to basically beg for help and assistance. And I don't want that for my family, and I know I
Mhm.
probably speak for everyone in your audience, you included, that I don't think you want that for your family. So it's important to, but again, just on a more lighter note, just so
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
if you have, I don't want, yeah, like this is not a doom and gloom message. This is a
Mhm.
preparedness message.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you have an independent broker like myself, you can get a lot of coverage, be able to cover all these potential accidents that could happen. And you don't have to pay a lot to do it. And if you are paying a lot to do it, you can stop doing that. And you can take that money, take control of that money, and reposition it in other ways that can benefit your family rather than in an expensive policy from a captive agent. You want to keep as much of that as possible because that's your money.
Right on. Hey, that's so true. When you share about different options out there, and also the preparation that we need to take at hand. And in the meantime, I recall one of my the insurance company they're with. They just have their own policies, and what's unique about our show today is that you access to every categories and every products the different companies have. Let's just take it as for example, they have like the Primerica, they have like what are those like there's different things out here, and then
Yeah.
Continental and all those all this great stuff. I mean, they're great companies, but in the meantime, like you said, and it's so true, we got to come up with a better plan. If we have a better plan and a better preparation, for the future, then we don't have to worry and have a stress on, a lot of stress about, we have funerals and then those things like that. We have to take care monetary, obligations that we're gonna take care, once we pass on. But we leave our family with good terms financially. There'll be
Yeah.
a great time for us. But hey, that's just great stuff.
Yeah.
With your life insurance. Anything else with life insurance? That you want to share? That your phone number is right here. Like I said, hey, if you're listening to this podcast and also Journey Beyond the Horizon show tonight and today, 435-200 4869. We will reiterate and we'll also reshare the phone number again. I know through our Zoom to reach out to you, and that's what unique and that's what great about you with all these things, all these great information and all this valuable information is that the ins and outs of different companies that they can look for. And definitely, a great opportunity to meet up with you and then give you a call. Anything else
Yeah.
about life insurance, about anything regarding our, let's say specifically to we can share about our Polynesian people and also anybody else out there, Caucasians, Asians, everybody,
Yeah.
Americans,
Everybody.
here in America. Yeah,
Yeah.
all inclusive.
No, yeah, no, I don't think so, Ray. I think they say people's brains shut off when they get, too much info. Have you ever heard that the analogy drinking from a fire hose?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
taking too much classes in college,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Exactly.
reading every day, like a lot of and every day, and it's like, ah, man, I stopped reading too so much.
Brain is hurting.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So I think
Uh,
I think I hit on the points and I think are good that people in a simple way that people can really digest and kind of sleep on. And then when we talk one-on-one, that'd be the more appropriate time to get
Yes, sir.
into more details for their specific situation, you know.
And then definitely, if these informations are, are not for free, they gotta come. You gotta come in and have an opportunity to sit down with you, like I said, call you and have like a virtual Zoom or meeting or anything. Everything is easier these days with technology. So
Yeah, yeah,
man, like what you share, man. This is awesome stuff. This is great stuff. So I
yeah,
appreciate sharing that with us. All right. What I was intrigued about and also interested about, if we're gonna move on, we know about life insurance a little bit, kind of like, in a nutshell, but gold coin, this is a new, let's say a new topic for me. I heard about it before, but I never really digest it until I watch your prior shows, and it's kind of
yeah,
like this is amazing. But share us about gold coins, Ray,
sure.
regarding things that you want to share. I don't want to, you have some stuff that you want people to meet up with you, and I know your service. You need to be, um, pay you and stuff like that. Definitely, but then share regarding gold coins and that topic.
Yeah, yeah. Well, actually, one more thing, Ray, on the life insurance note, but I'll jump to that here in a second too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um,
Go ahead.
yeah, this is something I recently I've had this idea that I've tossed around in my head and I've shared with a few people, but it's an idea I have for those that have a GoFundMe or have a financial need. I've always wanted to help them too, right? It's already too
Yes.
late for them to get life insurance when the GoFundMe is launched and it's all over the internet, all over the Facebook and all over the
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. It's already too late. They already have the need. The family member is already pretty much in kind of in a bad spot. They're not, so life insurance. So I can't really help them necessarily directly with life insurance. But one thing I've come up with that I've created a video so that people can watch and just learn about it
Yes.
on their own and then reach out to me is, let me see if I can figure out how to explain this very simply. Um, they have if they have a family member or even themselves that needs a large sum of money to be able to do some type of a treatment, and
Mm-hmm.
life insurance is not an option anymore. One thing that I've come up with is the ability for them to share with their family and their friends on their GoFundMe page the video that I created, so that their family can see that if they can't afford to donate anymore, because we're all donating to family and friends to when that have a GoFundMe need or some kind of fundraiser need for a funeral or for medical treatment. So a lot of us are all, we don't have anything else to give. And so what I've realized, Ray, is that I can with my access to all these carriers, it's just kind of this is a outside the box sort of thinking. If they share
Mm-hmm.
the link of this video that I put together on their GoFundMe page and tell their people that are reading it, if you don't have money but you would like to contribute, your desire is to contribute, watch this video, and the video goes into and explain what I do and how they can save themselves. Like on average, I think I did some numbers. On average, I think I save about $20,000 per policy.
Oh
That's a
wow.
lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
$20,000. And if that's a couple, that's $40,000 if it's a husband and wife.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
my idea is very simple, and is that they should share this link in their video and allow people to free up money in their own lives by reaching out to me. We reduce their monthly payment by a lot, working through my access, and now they have the ability to be very generous to that GoFundMe page. If they can
Mm.
take a much larger portion than they might have done before. They may only donate $20, $100, but when you save yourself $40,000, you have a lot more
Mm-hmm.
ability to be able to help in that fundraiser. Maybe $1,000, maybe 500. So anyway, that's the last thing I wanted to mention.
Mm-hmm.
That
Oh no,
that
that's awesome.
yeah. So I created a video for that, and I'll give it to you, and you can add it in the description or something like that in the video if you want. But
Yeah,
I
send
think
send it over so we can definitely use it as our another
yeah,
backup for on our channel. So that's pretty good.
yeah.
That'd
Okay.
be really good.
So the on the gold and silver. So this one, I'm trying to. Yeah, I appreciate you opening the discussion about this. This is something I feel very passionate about too. Maybe even more so because, um, I'm trying to figure out how to share this. So here in the United States, we have dollars, paper dollars, and
Paper
it's
money.
not
Yep.
paper money.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
it's known as the name for it is fiat, is paper fiat. Fiat means it's backed up by the government, basically. That's all it's backed up. It's not backed up by anything else. It's literally just like this paper napkin I have here on my kitchen table. So the value of that paper is no different from this, except that it's backed up by the US government. So this is a really important principle for people to understand living here in the United States, is that our government right now is printing a lot of money. They're sending it to everyone's checking account directly. This has never happened before in history.
Oh wow.
So the more that they print this paper money, each paper dollar that's in existence already, it loses its value, it loses its purchasing power. So I don't know, Ray, I think you're first generation, right, here in the US?
Yes, this is my first generation. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It's all new, let's say new ball game for me to kind of look into.
right.
Wow, what's that?
Yeah.
But it's definitely
So
intriguing for me. It's very interesting to learn more because a better plan financially will always execute well than just like no
yeah,
plan at all. For the future.
absolutely.
And then I saw
Yeah.
like gold coin. So I said, oh wow, when you talk about that, the ounces and also you talk about the inflation of money. Money will always lose its value every year. But
Mhm.
gold coins, they increases the value, so it appreciate, not depreciate, like paper money, kind of deal.
Yeah.
So, but hey, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, good job, Ray. Good job. Yeah. You should be the teacher. Good job,
Oh
man.
no! I'm just learning from you, man. Yeah. You're the man. You're the man. Go ahead.
No, that's good. Good job. The term inflation means to inflate. So you
Mhm.
inflate the money supply.
Increase that, yeah, value.
Increase.
Yeah.
So as you inflate the money supply by printing these dollars and adding them into circulation so people can spend them at their grocery stores or however they spend on vacations. So each dollar loses its purchasing power. And this is very obvious in the example that I showed in that other podcast. I had a coin that I keep here with me in my wallet so that I can share with people that I run into that may be interested, so they can learn about this. So in 1923, I have a 1 ounce gold coin that I have in my wallet, and it was worth $20. $20. That's it. $20
Oh wow.
for that 1 ounce gold coin in 1923. That same 1 ounce gold coin here today in 2021 is recently hit about $2,100, $2,100.
Ooh wee.
So
Wow, this is a lot, man. That's a lot of increase value right there, man.
yeah. So the gold represents it's the opposite. It's actually not necessarily increasing in value. It's
Mhm.
increasing in purchasing power, and the
Oh,
dollar is
purchasing power.
decreasing in value. So the dollar
Oh, okay.
decreases in its purchasing power, and the gold increases in its purchasing power over time. And it's done this for thousands of years, since the Romans. I mean, people can really dig into this and learn a lot about gold and money and how governments have used it over centuries. And so anyway, the gold really illustrates the purchasing power of the dollar. So that same $20 bill in 1923 bought that gold coin. But if that person did not take that $20 piece of paper and convert it into gold, if they just kept it as paper, as just a piece of paper, and that piece of paper today is only worth $20. It's only worth the face value the government gave it.
Mhm.
But the gold that they had bought, someone had bought for $20 in 1923, is now worth, it recently hit over $2,000 for that same coin.
Wow.
So you can see the purchasing power. So does that make sense? Or is that, I don't
Yes.
have any, okay.
Oh no, that's really let's say interesting, and also educated, and educating regarding gold. We look at gold, a majority of people, oh yeah, that's gold. Why it's expensive. But starting small, first step, purchasing an ounce or purchasing, a couple ounces. Definitely in over time, in a period of time where you keep that, it's valuable. Like now it clarifies to me not just value, but like purchasing power. You can purchase it with other commodities or other assets or other things that you can purchase it in the future. like
Right.
what you share. That
Right.
$20, it's just like the face of the president, and then the value number is like, yeah, it's $20 from 1920, whoever the president was at that time, it'll still be $20. But the purchasing power, the power of that gold or that money or that asset is like, it's similarly for me as another new ball game. We're gonna talk it a little bit more. I mean, we'll talk about it, tap into. I know you're doing stocks and stuff, investments and stuff like that. But our people and also Polynesian people, I know Caucasians, they grew up with the system kind of like this. But people like, let's say, definitely like me, journey from Tonga coming here, there are other ways of having your money or having purchasing power or value of the money you have. Like I said, stocks, commodities of buying gold. Then in the future, you can be well off, and also you can have a backup plan again financially to say, hey man, this is, I buy a lot all these golds when I was like 40, 20 years ago or whatever. And then now I'm keeping it, and I have that, in my, let's say my ownerships, and then keep it as my account, my portfolio, or anything like that. But we open our minds, in this show, and I love it. And we open our mind in this, episode, and also our viewers, basically, Polynesians out there, that there are great things out there, basically, financial terms like, gold. You can look in stocks. We'll talk about later, but those things are, hey, you're just sharing that's like the foundation right there to get started with, right? And have the
Yeah.
mindset of changing our mindset that, hey, we're not on. We love to work hard. I love to work hard, work for money. But in the meantime, you can purchase an asset where it grows over time with that power, purchasing power, the value. You have like investment, stocks. Those are different, like different ballgames, just like
Yeah.
that. But similarly, financially, preparation again, a
Hmm.
plan, financial plan in the future. But I think that's just what I know from what you shared, man. That's just awesome. I love it.
Yeah. And to just to further illustrate the power of this, the purchasing power. So that $20 piece of paper, if that
Hmm.
person had held on to it, they would. I bought gas at Costco a while ago. It's gone up a lot, but it was $2 a gallon, right?
Yes.
And at Costco, it's about $2 here in Utah. And so that $20 piece of paper will get me 10 gallons of gas. That's purchasing power. But the
Mm.
gold coin that also cost $20, 1923, would have bought me 1,000 gallons of gas, not 10 gallons. You know?
That's like a worth of like gas for the whole month or something like that. Or maybe like big trucks
Yeah,
like a week. That's like
yeah,
amazing. I mean that's like over time you have something in return from that purchasing of a little amount of money. So that's just
yes,
awesome. And this is like I said, this is educational, and that's just like beneficial for all our
yeah,
viewers. Appreciate it, man.
yeah. So the one, I guess the last, like in the same spirit of keeping it simple, like life insurance,
Hmm.
what people need to understand, Tongan, Samoan, white, Caucasian, black, whoever, Mexican, that the dollar is already it's heading to zero. And this is a history lesson. People can Google this. There have
Yes.
been throughout history hundreds and hundreds of currencies, pieces of paper, hundreds of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife. Yeah, he saw
Oh,
it. He waved
hello,
at you.
hello. Well, welcome to the show. And like I said, everything is all it's family oriented, so it's only fine.
Yeah,
Thank you. And all
yeah.
good. Yeah. Oh, I mean, this
So
is amazing, Ray, because like it's very like I say educational for everyone. Yeah, and
yeah,
then you have that expertise where people can also talk about you regarding that. People
yeah,
who are interested, like, hey, where do I buy gold? What are the investors? What are the companies that I look? Myself, I would definitely keep in touch with you, and I say, hey man, where do you want me to buy gold? Where do you want to start? So the basic is to get going. That's the most important thing. Is like, all right, what am I going to plan to do with this? I'm going to purchase this and that. So definitely an
yeah,
awesome. This is a great educational. For me. For me
yeah.
definitely. But I know our viewers out
Good.
there are also
Yeah.
intrigued. Believe that intrigued to listen to that. So.
So the last thing I was going to say with that paper though is that every currency, Ray, in history, every paper
Hmm.
currency throughout history, every one of them, 100%, not 99, not 95, 100% of them go to zero. They go to zero in
Yes.
purchasing power. So this is the important message that really sets me apart from other life insurance brokers, is
Hmm.
that I'm trying to help my clients, my family and friends keep as much of their paper dollars. And then my
Mhm.
recommendation to them is always to take those paper dollars that you just now saved yourself by working through my agency, and now to prepare in a different way, to prepare to both preserve your wealth that you work so hard for. You know, Tongans really are some of the hardest working people I know. All
Mhm.
that, you know, the types of industry that we get into, you know,
Mhm.
is they work very hard. So to preserve that wealth that you are creating for your family by working so hard every single day, you need to take that and you need to convert it from paper into real assets to protect your family, like just like life insurance. You want to protect your family life insurance. You protect your family's wealth that you're going to be building. You protect that purchasing power by buying gold. But I also recommend silver. Most people should really buy silver
Silver.
right now.
Mhm.
It's significantly less expensive. And I can
Any
explain.
difference? Any difference, Ray, regarding silver and gold? I know. I mean, it's different. No, the minerals different. You know, definitely, this is gold, this silver. But any differences? What are different criteria they look into? Or I
No, silver
know
is just a
prices could be
smaller,
like placed into.
yeah, smaller price. Right now, silver is
Okay.
about $25 an ounce. Gold is almost 1,700, 1,800. So you can get a lot more silver. You can get started on
Mm-hmm.
silver, and everyone really
Mm-hmm.
should start with silver to
Oh,
start.
nice.
That's where everyone should start. Then, you know, there's things that I can talk about later with you, or you know, just on my own website or Facebook to educate
Yes,
people
sir.
on the. But silver always follows gold, so it's gold, it appreciates in value. It's the leader. Silver is the little brother who's just following big brother. So
Nice.
silver is the place to protect yourself right now. Um,
Mm.
Going into what's coming and what's already begun and what we're already living through right now economically, more people need to be moving into gold and silver, and not into cryptocurrencies. Unfortunately, people. I don't know if you know about those. Do you know about those?
Yes,
Bitcoin.
I so personally I just started this new hobby of mine. It's not a hobby. It's basically do a little bit like research and also you know, follow the stock market. Every time when I first saw that, I was like, oh wow, that's grass. Oh, it looks great. Oh, okay, thank you. But I started to do like penny stocks. You know, we're kind of like merging into like talking stocks and that. I know you have some, you know, you're expert in that too. You've been doing that too. So I look into penny stocks and they're like cryptocurrency because I remember when I first heard about it was like let's say 12 years ago. One of my buddies said, "Hey man, buy this for $5." And then after 10 years, he called me. He personally like, you know, one of my friends in school and said, "Hey man, it went up to like, you know, six figures, you know, in 10 years of time." But I was like, wow, you know, but that's the risk that he took a long time ago. So man, if I could or would or should or I should like done that or do this or that, but it is what it is basically. So
Yeah,
cryptocurrency, yes, kind of like share with us if you don't mind, share with our show today about crypto. I heard about that cryptocurrency as like, you know, the money flow of money in the internet. You know, it's all like in the air. You know, there's like stocks. It goes up, goes down. It goes up, goes down. So basically, we're gonna merge into
yeah,
that topic if you want to share about
yeah,
cryptocurrency.
sure. So yeah, with cryptocurrency, so Bitcoin is probably the leader in cryptos. Is the number
Yes.
one, has the biggest market cap. It has the most people it has the most money out of the entire cryptocurrency industry. And so cryptocurrency is I just taught your audience about fiat, paper fiat.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency is digital fiat. So it's also another form of fiat currency, or it's an asset, but it's a speculative asset. It's very volatile. It moves up and down a lot. So nothing can be priced in Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency because it moves too much. So I don't want to go too much into depth, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
digital fiat. It is a speculative asset. It is not sound money. They like to compare it to gold, and I understand that because
Mm-hmm.
people who buy gold understand money. People who buy gold and
Yeah.
silver understand history and understand money. So if they can convert them, then it's a good thing for that industry. But it's a big speculation. Speculation is just a gamble, basically another word for gambling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
big time gamble. Silver and gold will
Oh
never go to
wow.
zero. It's very safe. It never will go to zero. It always has a use because it's real. You can touch it.
Yes.
You can
Yes.
you can
It's all
you can
tangible. It's all tangible, not intangible like the, you know,
yeah,
that cryptocurrency. Ah,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
But
wow.
there's a lot of people who've made a lot of money, and I give them credit. But they only make money if they sell too. Most of them don't sell. If you get to know any of them, they're of the
Mm-hmm.
belief. It's almost like a religion It's like a that you never, they call it hodl. You have to hodl, which means hold. You never sell your Bitcoin, you never sell any of your cryptos. They're gonna, and many of them, they'll come to your video probably and see me one day because they're all laughing at me now because they're, they're making a lot of money with the speculation. But I don't, they will be many, most of them will end up holding nothing at the end because the mentality is just to hold. That greed tells them to just hold forever and that it will never go down. And the common saying, Ray, that they like to use is that it's different this time. This is the most common thing ever said throughout history. This time it's different, but it's not. It's not different. It's going to implode. And unfortunately, you can only do so much. I can share as much as possible till I'm blue in the face about real sound money, but people they follow the greed more than the than the reason, than the understanding. And history is the greatest teacher. So
yeah, definitely. I definitely commend you on sharing this great information, because now we open up great doors for our viewers and also audiences to look into assets instead of liability, and our time is very important, like you mentioned. If real money is real hard work, like with gold, that's real, we can touch it, we can feel it. But crypto, there's pros and cons, and majority of the cons will definitely kind of overshadow and then kind of like take over, overcome our greed, and then it's like, all right, let's just like start doing it, and we start losing money. So it's always good to have that sound money and also use that discernment to make sure you're doing it for the right reason. And definitely cryptocurrencies, it's out there. People out there are like, hey, you gotta do this, you gotta invest in this and that. Ray, I think our last but not the least, well, I thank you for all this. Like, this is a little bit like scratch off what which I know if we dig deep into all these great things, man, we take about a couple of days or like a whole week to talk about, but that's why we have you here. And also have your phone number, is like people can reach out to you. People can reach out to you definitely, and you have that opportunity to share. But last but not the least is stocks, like the economy and stocks. Anything that you want to share. Like I said, for our people, and I know people already, already know about it, already, doing it. What are the benefits and what are the things like I said, I started as a penny stocks, but like I talked to my wife, I was like, hey, I'm doing some research, and we hear about all these stocks, and because people who are working in their jobs, even they know that 401k is a stock. I just found it out. It's like it's just a stock, it's a term of like, hey, you're gonna put your money in, every paycheck, and they start like, using your money, those fees you're doing. But like, what are our recommendations and what are advices about, you want to share about stocks? What are the good things about it, and then the risk? And I know these are the things you're passionate about, and you want to share with our viewers.
Yeah. So I mean, if I were to give just a general game plan for your viewers and yourself, Ray, kind of getting started and learning about this space and this industry, is that stocks are also speculation, especially penny stocks. The majority of penny stocks will go to zero. So it's a big roll, it's a big risk, a big roll of the dice. But if I were to give a game, kind of just a general strategy that most people, they should be accumulating their insurance first, which is the gold and the silver, should be their starting point. But if you want to build wealth, and this is something I do as well, gold and silver are going to protect your purchasing power, but specifically silver has kind of a hybrid sort of effect. It'll protect your purchasing power, but basically, in short, it'll give you the opportunity to build some wealth as well. It's not just going to protect purchasing power. When it starts to catch up to gold, it always passes gold. It goes much further. And so, so accumulate the metal. You want to have this security, this insurance for your family, but you want to start with silver, and you want to accumulate silver coins in your hand, in your house, in your safe, in your backyard, wherever you're going to keep it safe. You got to keep
treasure box or anything.
There you go, treasure box. Just don't put an X on it, because then someone's
they're gonna come in and rob me or anything, right?
Yeah, exactly. So accumulate the metals, the silver specifically, and then if you want to build wealth, once you've set up a nice position in insurance, the next step is, and you got to move on this, actually, it's kind of time sensitive, But by the way the government is doing things, by the way the Federal Reserve is, the central bank is doing things, you don't have, time is dwindling. There's not as much of it left. So if you want to build wealth, then you invest right now in the miners, the ones who pull the metal out of the ground, the guys who are sweating out there with the hats on and the shovels. You invest in those companies because they are what they call leverage to the metal. So when the metals move up 1%, the miners move up 4 to 9 to 10%. They move a lot more. So that's how you build wealth in this at this time right now, is you accumulate the metals for insurance, and then you invest in the miners. But and the way you pick the miners is kind of there's a formula to that too. You want to start with the management. Who's running the company? Are they a serial entrepreneur? Do they know how to make money? Have they done it before? You don't just invest in a penny stock for just random reasons. You want to follow the same formula. You want to find out who is the team that's mining the metal. Who's the team and what have they done before? Have they ever done anything successful in this space? If they haven't, then you should run the other direction. But anyway, just in short, you get the metals first and then you invest in the miners. That's how you build wealth in this industry, because it's leveraged. So every move in gold, the move is exaggerated in the miners by a lot. And that's how you build wealth. And then you convert that wealth back into metals. It's a formula. You go back and forth.
Wow, that's amazing. Because I was about to ask you a question specifically because I'm one of those miners. You know, I'm employed with Rio Tinto, and
nice.
You know, when you share, you know, that I know it takes me back to we invest also as employees in the company, because Rio Tinto as Kennecott, we have that copper and then also gold. Now they just reinvented, you know, something that is a new minerals for solar system panels. That we're going to start, you know, that we're going to start, you know, digging that, you know, at the mine. But amazing how you elaborate and how you share. You know, these amazing these steps to build wealth. It's better to first start with that. You know, insurance, backup plan for the family, financially, and also looking to like silver and gold, you know, and also minerals, and then also metals, and also so amazing. Yeah. Ray, this is for me. I can take notes from you. If you don't mind, I was just taking notes, writing down these notes for me, and I'll definitely, you know, we'll keep in touch, you know, on my side. But you know, for our viewers out there, the benefits and also the great opportunities for us to learn from you, we appreciate you for your time. So yeah. So I think you know, if there's anything, you know, that you want to share, but I think we're kind of like, you know, last words, or last you know, recommendation, advice, or anything regarding anything that you want to share before we come to an end.
Yeah. No, just no, I think that's it. Like I said, I don't want to hook up a fire hose in their mouth and turn that thing on. It's just, but yeah, we should do this again. If you ever want to learn more yourself and do it for your audience too, we can do this again and talk a little bit more details, maybe at a later date. Yes. I'd be game to do that with you.
Oh, hey, definitely. And you know, from your expertise and from your side of the business, and then the side of you know, sharing valuable you know, information, and also the valuable you know, these things that are you know, for us as viewers, is that we want to thank you, you know, for everything. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Ray. You know, thank you to your family for the time and also the effort to be here. I know the pleasure is ours, is mine, to be with you tonight, and so today. Hello. So you know, send those videos. You know, I can put it on our description on our YouTube channel, and like, subscribe, and also share this video, because definitely you know, a great opportunity and a privilege for us to have you. Great. Anything else you just want to wrap it up, and then we're good?
Yeah, no, just yeah, those links, yeah, we can just include those in the description. It's been fun, Ray. Thanks, buddy, for listening to me. I appreciate you.
Hey, thank you, brother. Hey, thank you for everything you share, man. Appreciate you, and you have a great day.
You too.
Send my love to the family, man. Have a good one.
I will, Ray. Malo apito.
Yes, sir. Malo apito.